Hello, I am going to go over how to set up your Tinkercad class and the two ways that students can log in. First, we're going to be in our classes page tab, and we're going to click a new class, create a new class, enter your class name, choose your grade level, and select your subject. The grade level is important because it tells the program how old your students are, and it will put in different settings based on that. Okay, create our class. You can see our classes here. You can go right into it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just click the add students. I'm going to just add a single student, and this is creating a seat within my classroom. I can change the nickname if I'd like. Hit save. Okay, so I could do that one by one, or I could paste a list of students in here, whether I'm taking it from a Word doc or wherever else I might use it, and just paste the list of students in. Okay. Once I go back to my class, I can see that my student is created. They have their nickname, their seat type, which is a seat rather than a count, and we can see that safe mode is not yet activated because it is grayed out and they have not activated their account yet. Okay, so I'm going to take my class code and I will paste that into Google Classroom or wherever else I might put it for students to be able to see it. I can copy the code or copy the link. Okay, I'm going to switch over to a new tab, and within Tinkercad, I'm going to just put that link. And when I do, it's going to come up with my classroom, and it's going to tell me welcome to one test class, and I can join with a nickname. Now, if your students are not using their email or anything, you're creating this just as I just showed you. You're going to click join with nickname, type in. Notice it's all lowercase. The software forces it to lowercase, so there's no mistakes or mishaps with that. Then click that's me. And that brings us right in to our Tinkercad environment. Okay, I can create a new design. Now I'm working as the student. Okay, I instruct my students all the time to change their file name immediately upon entry so that I can tell what it is. And this file is just going to be a tinkering file, so it's not a project file yet. Okay, so now that we have this here, let me just put a couple of things on the work plane so that we could see a little bit of work when we look at the teacher side. Okay, so maybe we align them a little bit. Let me take that, bring it down. Okay, so just a simple shape. I don't really know what I was doing there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my teacher side, and I'm going to go back to my class. And if I refresh, I now see that Stacy's account is activated and it is a seat and safe mode is on. If I were to go into designs, I can see that Stacy has tinkered a design. And if I clicked on tinker this, I would be able to see what they were working on. And in here, I could click notes and I can put in here, looks great, or a great start, or whatever note I wanted to give them, I can put right in there. And when they go into their document, they can then see that note. And let's see if we refresh here in their file. Do we see that note? We do. It's located right up here. So that is wonderful, and that's one way of having our students log in. Okay. Now, if you happen to have a classroom set up like mine, where my students have Mac computers in my classroom, but we're also a one-to-one school where students have Chromebooks going home. Sometimes it's a concern students want to work on things outside of class and they log in on their Chromebook. And often what I find happens is that students will go back to that same link, right? We're going to get that class code, copy that link, and they go home, they go elsewhere, they log into their Chromebook, and when they do, they see this box again, and instead of joining with nickname, they click email or username. They sign in using their social media providers. So our students know that they have Google accounts. They click here, they look for their Google account, and they select that. They have to continue to accept the privacy statements. Notice we didn't have to do that in the other account. And then they come right in. Okay. Now they're in my classroom. We can create a design, rename it. I'm going to call it Tinker 2 so we can see the difference. Okay. Let's pull out a block and we'll radius the edges a little bit. And maybe we'll put a roof on this one just so that we could see some differences. And line it a little. Okay, so now we have something to look at in here. Now I'm going to switch back to the teacher account. I'm going to go back to my class, refresh my class because you can see we don't see our student yet. Now I see my second student, and you can see that the account type is different. We have a seat and account. So the seat is what I created for my student. The account is them logging in through Google, through their Gmail account. Okay, so now if I go into the student, I can see their work. And notice I only see that second file. I don't see the first one. So I often find out that students have created a second account when they come to me and say that they've lost all of their work. They did not lose all of their work. All they did was create a second account, which can be somewhat frustrating in a school setting. So you have to just keep an eye on this and make sure that students are logging in the same way on every device that they have. If I go to designs here, I can see under designs both files from Stacy, and you can also see that they're two different accounts because they're listed differently between the two. Okay. If you are using circuits or code blocks or lessons, those would be listed here as well. Okay, so you would see your whole class's work in this area, which makes it very convenient as a teacher to be able to click through and take a look at what's going on. One other thing I wanted to point out, because it is new, is you could see that safe mode is on now. And what safe mode, you could turn it off by clicking the shield. What safe mode does is it reduces the student's ability to browse in the gallery. So if you want to confine what they're able to see and don't want them to be able to go into the gallery and just do free searches, they're only going to get limited amount of information here in the gallery. Okay. So that's my tutorial for today on how to set up your different types of accounts for your students. Have a great day.